seems as if the video and audio are working. So I'll just start by saying an absolute word of thanks to Lan and others for inviting me here today. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. It's a great opportunity. I hope it leads to all kinds of interesting connections and interactions that occur over the next few years, not just a few days, but a few years. I have really one principal objective here, and that is to get as many people as possible. Okay, I'm going to flip the video. Thanks for that. How about now? Is that okay? Yep. Okay, we're good. That was a trick. So, and happy for Ross to shout out Syracuse. So, Syracuse is not known as the. It's a very rural place. It's not New York City. Syracuse is about 300 miles from New York City, but we love it here. And really simple thing I want to make a point to is we would love for as many people to register for this course, what we're calling Leading Smart Cities with Trust. And the idea is to introduce some really important topics that people like Lee McKnight, Austin Zwick, and also Lon and other people have suggested are important for lots of different people. The Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs is very much embedded in this notion that we need to do more for public servants to get them ready for this technological change, not just the things on our wrists and our arms, in our phone, the necessary, but there are so many issues. Just very quickly, what the course will cover is things like what do people want out of a smart city? What are the privacy rights? What are the ethical questions? What do we mean by cybersecurity? Big topic, lots of nuance to that. When we think about smart cities, what does it mean in terms of public safety and prosperity? What does it mean in terms of sustainability and inclusivity? And how do we engage people in a conversation in a training program where it's not about lecturing, but it's really about engaging people in a discussion that has very complex nuances about it. So, very quickly, you'll see in my screen, hopefully, that there's a QR code that you can take a picture of and register for that program. I think Lan also dropped in the chat the link to our registration page. Very simple page. What we're looking for is your name, your email, maybe a few factoids about where you work. And the intention is to gather a whole bunch of names and then to schedule these courses in March. We actually have dates in mind already, but if there are thousands of people that want to do this course, we'll adapt to that as well. If there's 20 or 30 people, that's good too. We're happy to engage people as they're willing. So that's just a little bit about the course. Important leader in all this is a professor at Syracuse University, Lee McKnight. I think he's a character that many of you know well, and we're looking forward to him being a lead faculty member here. And then we also have another faculty member named Austin Zwick, who may be a part of this conference as well, that will be kind of our lead faculty. The important thing to know about the Maxwell School's approach to this particular subject and almost any subject when it comes to public affairs is we look at things from a very interdisciplinary perspective. There are certainly lots of technological questions that emerge out of a smart city, but we're equally interested in what's the anthropological approach to this, what's the sociological approach to this, what's the political science approach to this. In other words, we want to have a very nuanced view, and that's really what the Maxwell School at Syracuse University is all about. Thank for the shout out. Yes, indeed. We are the #1 public policy program here in the United States, and at times we like to brag, but it's not so important to brag in this context. There's just so many interesting folks that are in this audience that can contribute to the knowledge production as we understand smart cities and what that means in the future. So absolute pleasure to be here. I don't know if there's any questions that people want to throw in the chat for me. I know I only have maybe another minute or so, but if there are any particular questions that people want to throw at me, I'm happy to entertain those. And likewise, if it's not so obvious, to get to me through that QR code, I'll drop in my email into the chat in case someone wants to contact me directly as well. And thank you also, Danielle. This is a collaboration, not just among social science disciplines here in the Maxwell School, but it's also important collaboration across our two very important schools on campus, one being the Maxwell School, brag about that. Would also like to brag about the information school here at SU. That is Lee McKnight's principal affiliation, and perhaps many of the people on the call today or the video are also from that reference point, either as alum or faculty. So from Kyle, what's the biggest obstacle most cities cite to moving towards becoming a smart city? I'll simply say, Kyle, that in terms of content, I would never try to answer that question without asking Lee McKnight first. My area of expertise is in adult education, in nonprofit management, but that particular question would certainly be part of the curriculum, particularly on the front end of the course. But I appreciate the question because it actually helps edify the content of the course that we might imagine. Any other questions that might be out there? Certainly digital divide. I'll just jump on Hugo's thunder there. When you look at the city in which I live, Syracuse, the differentiation wealth, and then what that means for our own mayor's approach to smart cities is a massive challenge. So I would say that would have to be an important piece of the program as well. And how you socialize that smart city concept, no doubt. Great point, Hugo. Any other questions out there about the potential program? We'd love to see a whole bunch of people register for this. And once you register the program, we'll create a listserv of some sort in a modern sense and begin to interact with people and let them know more details about the program. The website itself that was set up for the registration provides some sense of what we're trying to get at. Yep. Okay. Lon, anything else I missed? Please help me out if I could. If there's anything I should add to what I presented already. The costs that we imagine at the moment, and I'll be very frank about this, is we're imagining about $1,000 to $1,200. That's kind of what we're thinking at the moment. But we're also let the market influence as well. So if that becomes prohibitive for people's participation, we're gonna try to make it as accessible as we can while thinking about sustainability of the effort as well.